Welcome to Anywhere Math. I'm Jeff Jacobson, and today we're going to talk all about checking your answers. Let's get started. We all know checking your answers is super important. Teachers say it all the time. However, they rarely tell you how to actually do it. So in today's video, we're going to tell you different ways to check your answer, and then once it's checked, how you can actually fix your mistakes. All right, we're first going to talk about different ways to check your answer, and first is just to check by yourself. One way to do that is use estimation. 12.6 would round to 13. 3.2 would round to 3. 13 times 3 is 39. Is that pretty close to my answer? Yeah. Another way to check by yourself is use substitution. X equals 17, I'll substitute it back in. So I'm all good. One more way to check your answers by yourself is to ask if your answer is reasonable. This works especially well for word problems. So, how much did each sandwich cost? $350? Doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, forgot my decimal point. $3.50 each. Another way you can check your answers on your own is to use the textbook. In the back of the book, if you didn't know, they have the answers for most of the odd problems. So check your textbook, and most of the time you'll see the selected answers are back there. Now, if you're not able to check your answers on your own, check with a partner. All right, what'd you get for number 5?
I got x equals -3.
X equals -3? Just make sure that when you're checking, you don't do this. All right, what'd you get for number 7?
I got x equals 8 on this one.
8? You said 8?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just write that. X
Okay.
equals 8. And instead, do this. All right, what'd you get for number 7?
I got it was 8.
X equals 8?
Yeah.
Could you, honestly, I didn't really get the second step. Could you explain how you got that?
Well, yeah, it was 7x plus 2 equals 58. So the first step, you got to subtract 2 from both sides. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other.
I forgot to do it to both sides.
Okay.
Perfect.
Does that make sense now?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. As you can see, the main difference is we're not just writing the correct answer, we're actually having a conversation and figuring out exactly where we went wrong. Now, if all else fails, you can always check with your teacher. However, I know from personal experience, most teachers want you to check with a partner or on your own first. So make sure you do that before you ask them. Now that you know about the different ways to check your answers, let's talk about how you actually do it. And I've got 4 tips that are going to help you do that. So tip number 1 when you're checking, always use a colored pen. Now I've got a marker because it's a whiteboard, but you should use a pen, not a highlighter. That's for highlighting. Don't use a marker because you can't correct very well if you need to fix your mistakes. Use a pen. It's easier to write. And top tip, don't use black. If I try to correct this with black, it's so hard to see. Use blue, red, green, something that's going to stand out. Tip number 2, don't. I repeat, do not erase your mistakes. Mistakes are valuable. We learn from mistakes. If you erase it, then you can't really learn from it. It's not there anymore. So never erase your mistakes. Don't do this. Oh, this is wrong, so I'm going to erase it and just redo it. Don't do that. Tip number 3, fix your mistakes next to your original work. Like I said, don't ever erase. Instead, we're going to fix it to the side with our blue pen or red or green or whatever color except black so that it stands out. So if I'm looking, I'm checking with a partner, maybe I checked in the back of the book, I figured out, maybe I checked on my own and I realized, oh yeah, order of operations, I can't be doing the subtraction first. Instead, my first step, if I got my original problem right, that's great. This is the part where I went wrong. I'm going to say, this is still 7 minus 4, then times 7. That's going to be 7 minus 28, which is going to give me negative 21. Notice the difference. I still see my original work, my mistake, and now I see how I fixed it. So when you're studying and you see this, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta remember my order of operations. Don't make that same mistake again. That mistake is valuable. You can learn from that, so we don't ever want to erase it. And finally, tip number 4, use the triangle. Now let me explain. After you've corrected your mistake with a pen that's colorful, that's going to stand out next to your original work, not erasing, not writing over it so you can't see it anymore, now this is corrected. Use the triangle. It's no longer wrong. Now I know when I see that triangle, I know I originally had a mistake, but now it is corrected, it's fixed. And that is really, really helpful when you're studying and looking at your notes. If you can master those tips from this video, I guarantee you'll become a better math student. As always, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe. And a special thanks to Mr. Forrestal and Miss Park for helping me out with this video.